Hi, I'm Steve. I used to be in army for a really long time, like more than 20 years. I have been in lots of tough situations during my time in the army. So you can trust me when I say I'm not making up this story. I have a cabin in a big forest surrounded by mountains. It's in a national forest of our country. You have to drive 50 miles on a bumpy dirt road to get there. Usually, I can only go there in summertime because in the winter the road gets covered in snow and ice. About 3 years ago, there wasn't much snow, so my friend and I thought we would take a chance and stay at a cabin for a few weeks in the winter time. We planned to leave if it started snowing too much so we could get down the mountain safely. As planned, we got to the cabin in afternoon and there was just a little bit of snow on the ground. We cleaned up the cabin, turned on the power, gas and water supply and put all our food which we had bought in our storage room. For the context, this wooden storage room is just outside the cabin, few steps away. When we finished everything, I noticed sun had set and it was getting dark. It was time to make dinner, so I told my friend I would grab some meat from storage room. I stepped out and when I started walking toward the storage room, something really unexpected happened. As I approached the storage room, the air felt colder and a strange stillness settled around me. The crunch of snow under my boots seemed louder than before, echoing in quiet forest. The cabin's warm light cast long shadows on the ground, emphasizing the eerie silence. With each step, my heart pounded faster, as if it sensed something unsettling. When I was just few steps away from the room, a shiver ran down my spine. Doors of the room were wide open. In that frozen moment, I locked eyes with two gleaming yellow eyes peering out from the darkness within the room. The atmosphere grew thick with tension, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. My military instincts kicked in and I slowly withdrew a cold metal handgun from my pocket. The weight of it reassured me, but unknown made the air feel charged with fear. Moving inch by inch, I advanced toward the storage room, the anticipation building with every step. The light from the cabin cast eerie shadows around me, creating an almost surreal atmosphere. As I peered inside, expecting the unexpected, the room seemed empty. A sigh of relief escaped me, but unease lingered. Switching on the light, the sudden brightness revealed nothing but supplies we had stored. I quickly grabbed the frozen meat, the cold seeping through my gloves, and locked the room from outside. The click of the lock echoed in the night, sealing the mysterious encounter behind that wooden door. I hurriedly made my way back to the cabin, my senses still on high alert. I told my friend about it, and we figured it was probably just a bear or some wild animal that ran away. We sat by the fire and talked about it, but nothing else happened that night. The next morning dawned with uneasy tension lingering in the frosty air. As my friend and I sat by the fire sipping our coffee, I couldn't shake the feeling that something out there watching us. My friend wanted to go for a hike, but I was worried about the snow and what I saw night before. But he promised that he would stay on the dirt road and not to venture into the woods. and after few miles he will return back. So he ventured down the snowy path, his footsteps leaving imprints in the fresh powder. I watched him go, the snow-covered trees standing like a silent guardians. The world seemed hushed, as if nature itself was holding its breath. Then, as my friend grew distant, I spotted a movement just off the road behind him. A figure emerged, large and black against the white landscape, standing upright on two legs. Panic gripped me as I recognized the creature from night before. It was now stalking my friend, moving with predatory grace through the snow. My hand trembled as I raised the handgun, my voice shaky as I shouted, "Hey, watch out!" The shock echoed through the forest, the sound reverberating off the trees. The bullet hit creature's right shoulder. The creature with its airy dog-like head and massive jaw turned to face me. There was no sign of pain, only a fierce, unrelenting gaze. Its dog head was bigger than the human head, like a big German Shepherd dog. It had a black fur and huge jaw. I saw large white canine teeth in its mouth. It was a moment frozen in time, the forest holding its breath once again. The creature then ran away on its two legs. It moved with a speed I couldn't comprehend, disappearing into the dense woods within seconds. I rushed toward my friend, my breath coming out in white puffs of fear. "Are you okay?" I asked him urgently, scanning him for any sign of harm. He stammered, his eyes wide with terror. "I saw it too. What the heck was that?" he said. The reality of our situation sank in. We were in the presence of something otherworldly, something beyond our comprehension. "We need to leave now," I insisted. My voice was urgent. We sprinted back to the cabin, adrenaline pumping through our veins. Grabbing the jeep keys, I couldn't shake the image of that scary creature from my mind. "We can't stay here. We have to get out before it comes back," I said as I started the jeep. We sped down the dirt road, the forest closing in around us. Each shadow seemed to conceal the lurking presence of the creature we had encountered. "What was that thing?" my friend whispered, his voice barely audible over the hum of the engine. I couldn't find the words. I was still processing the events. "We were lucky," I finally replied, my grip tight on the steering wheel. "Let's not look back. We need to get as far away from that place as possible," I said. The fear lingered as we drove through the dirt road. We were terrified, not knowing when that thing might appear and attack us. Luckily, we made it to the main highway safely. We didn't stop until we reached to my house. My friend stayed with me for a few days. We couldn't stop thinking and talking about that strange creature. After talking to our friend circle and searching online, we find out the creature we encountered was called Dogman. My friend was really close to being attacked by it, and I managed to shot it before it could do any harm.